Hey everybody, it's time for The Plot Hole with your hosts, Johnny O and Jeremy Flair.
Are you gay?
Coming at you live.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Every Friday night at 8.
Every Friday night at 8.
On rockmetaltalk.com.
I went with jockeys here.
Something stinks like stale French fries.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
I killed your cat, you druggy bitch.
So let's dial it back. Let's go back to something that both of you have shared knowledge of on complete opposite ends of the spectrum on this one here. So we're going to start with the easy one. We're going to start with the flat Earth theory. Okay,
that's not a theory.
We're going to start with the.
Why don't we start with the globe theory and somebody present me with actual evidence of a globe?
Okay, we can do that. That's fine. Because
the claim, everything I've observed my entire life is that this bitch is stationary. I've never experienced any motion, and we're told that we move 6 different directions in unimaginable speeds. How is the wind not just blasting my skin off when we're going at all these different speeds?
All right. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to do the best that I can to stay out of the middle of this, or moderate, so to speak. So we have.
You just tell me whenever he's done, and I'll back off.
No. That's cool. All right. So the question we're looking at is 6 different directions, correct? Unimaginable speeds. No. I just want to make sure. Look. I just want to make sure that we're presenting your argument honestly, right? So I don't want to cloud your argument.
I mean, my favorite. You want me to go to my go-to? Then you want me to go to how I'm going to start somebody out that's really new, like little 101.
Sure. Okay. Let's say. Okay. Here we go. Team, are you okay with Axon Jackson trying to convert you into flat Earth theory?
I'm not trying to convert anyone. I mean, if people don't want to acknowledge. People don't want to acknowledge the truth. That's their decision.
All right, so
we'll talk about acknowledgement in a moment.
Okay, so can we all agree that we see the same constellations night after night, year after year, century after century?
Well, first off, are we already live going so people can hear us?
Yeah, everything should be good to go.
I didn't know if we had already jumped into that segment or if we were just still having a conversation. We do. We see it. I mean, it rotates around us as we go around the sun, so that we see different constellations at different times of the day or night. But
wait. You see, wait. Okay.
Hang on a second. He's answering your question. Let him answer your question.
Well, I'm. It's just he already said some really dumb things. So, like you said, that we see different constellations during the day and night, which is retarded.
Okay, so when we're on 6 months, when we're doing the, let's say the equinox, right? The autumnal equinox. When we do the autumnal equinox, the constellations that are at solar midnight will be the same constellations that will be at solar noon on the spring equinox. How do you explain that?
What I explain is what I said in the very beginning, which is that we see the same constellations night after night, year after year, century after century. They don't change the locations. You can still navigate using those. Sailors can still navigate using those now.
To some extent, some of them. Yeah,
no,
like
not
the
to some
North
extent.
Star.
The North Star never moves. Yes,
right, because the North Star is almost direct. Well, that's a bad fucking. You want to talk about saying something stupid? What you just said was absolutely stupid, because I guess you don't actually pay attention to like nautical almanacs or anything like that, stuff where the positions of stars are actually documented instead of you just watching a YouTube video or looking out in your petty 40 or 50 years that you've been alive on this earth thinking that you're supposed to see this massive change of fucking stars in the sky. Well, guess what? We've been doing this for centuries now and documenting them.
And there is no parallax. I know there is no parallax.
Yeah, you're not talking about parallax here. What we're talking about is position of the stars in the sky. And the North Star has moved Okay,
No.
every night it moves a little. Yes, it does. It's been documented. Okay, you can deny it if you want, but that just makes you a denier.
It doesn't make me a denier because look at Star
it is.
Trails.
Yeah, it is. No, it
Look
does. It
at-
makes you an absolute fucking
look at-
denier. That's what it makes
look
you.
at wrong composition.
Are you? Hold on. Are you saying that the nautical almanacs are not saying that the stars move?
I don't give a shit what I don't give a shit what a
Oh,
book
so
says. I give
okay,
a-
so exactly.
I give a
Here you
shit
go.
what's observable.
You don't give a fucking shit because all you care about is your petty little existence and what that means to you, to your position in the universe at that time. Well, guess
I care
what?
about what's
Nobody
observable.
gives a
You know
shit
what
about your
science means?
petty little existence. Nobody cares about your petty little existence.
Can you tell me
Because
what the scientific method is?
The entirety of humanity's scientific knowledge doesn't
Right, can you
depend
tell-
on
can you
when
tell me
you were
what the
born
scientific
and the
method
day
is?
you die.
Can
We've
you
been
tell me
doing
what the
this for
scientific
much
method is?
further. Dude, I don't give a shit about your lack of knowledge about the scientific method. Let's stick
I'm
to
asking
one
you
topic.
if you know what it means.
Absolutely.
I'm asking you.
I deal with bullshit ass people like you all the time. So yes, I do understand with fucking scientific.
You're
scientific
adorable.
method.
You're adorable. Okay, so tell it to me.
All right. Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
No,
Hang on. Let me rope this in.
Your first stupid question. We started
It's
by
like
talking
4
about the
words.
position of the stars in the sky, and then when I pointed out that you were wrong, now you want to jump to another one.
You talked
Now-
about constellations during the day, dude.
Yeah,
And
because they're up
you know
there.
what? And yeah, you know
Do
what?
understand
Right there.
why you don't see stars when you look at the sun,
I-
you dipshit?
Do you understand why you can see stars through the moon during the day? If
Oh
it's a
my
rock
God.
floating,
You
if
can
it's a
see
rock floating
stars through
space?
the moon. Provide fucking proof of that. Any evidence will work.
Okay. It's called my eyeballs.
Your
All right.
eyeballs.
It's
Wow.
called- yes.
Hang on a second. Hang on a
You're
second.
about as
Observed.
dumb as they come. You're about as dumb as they come.
Hang on a second. All right. So let's try and keep it. Let's try and keep it
That's
per.
my fault. I called him a retard way early on. That's my fault.
Oh, you know me. I'm just having a good time. This is me naturally. So.
Oh no, for sure. You guys do what you do. Look here, I'm not gonna. You look. That's all. I mean, I just want to say we need to keep it. Let's see if we can keep it per, because we went from stars to nauticals. I mean, we just went like a shotgun. Okay, so let's try and keep it a little more streamlined. All right. So the claim.
Let's go back to the North Star.
Yeah. So let's go back to that claim about stars in the sky not changing.
Let me ask you something. What was the North Star for the Egyptians during the time of, I believe,
it was
Cleopatra?
Polaris. It was Polaris.
That would be wrong.
No,
It was
that's not.
Thuban.
That's,
Yes, and it's
no,
documented.
it's not Thuban. That's
Okay.
nonsense.
So you just know better than all the Egyptian archaeologists and everybody.
The pyramids still align with the constellations. Tell me how that works in a spinning
they
ball.
still align with the constellations. That's a very vague claim that you just made.
The pyramids of Giza align with Orion's belt.
I wouldn't even talk. Oh, the pyramids of Giza. Okay, I thought you were trying to jump to South America. I was about to say, I'm not even talking about South America.
Yeah, I know. I know that's
Orion's
nothing like
belt.
the other.
That's completely different. Orion's belt. I'm not talking about Orion's belt here.
Okay, if
They're
we're trying
modeled
to
after
infinite.
the stars. Right. Okay.
I'm sorry.
So,
I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk.
let me give you an analogy that maybe help you understand how this is possible. Okay, if you take a penny and you tape it to a frisbee, okay, and then you tape 2 other pennies to a frisbee, and they make, like, let's say, a triangle where they're equidistant from each other, okay, and you throw that frisbee across the fucking room, how far will those pennies get from each other, being on that frisbee moving together?
Dude, I'm sorry. We started that one over.
Yeah, so let's say we have a frisbee and we tape 3 pennies to it, and they're all equidistant from
Like
each
on
other.
the top. On the top.
Yeah,
of,
yeah, on the top of it. We can hang them down on the inside. We can do whatever we want. But let's go ahead
Well,
and
wait,
just say,
Howard, you're saying that we're taping them, which would make them secured to it, correct?
yes, yeah. So we are secured to the. We rotate with the rest of the stars through the galaxy. Okay, so it's the same thing with the frisbee. With the stars that are the Orion's belt stars are relatively close to us. They're not far from us in galactic terms. They're relatively close. That's why we can see them really easily with our eyes. So that means that when we're moving, they're moving too. Now, if you and Johnny were sitting in 2 cars driving down the highway 60 miles an hour each in the same direction, you guys would look at each other and you would know you were moving, because from the outside, you would see the land going by. But to the inside, you would always look like you're the same distance from each other. You would always look like you're not really moving relative to each other, but you are moving. You're moving relative to the environment around each other, but to each other you're not. To each other you're relatively still. Well, the stars move. We've tracked these. We've plotted them. We've documented them for centuries. Before you and I were ever even talking about this shit or even considering talking about this shit, there have been sailors that rely on stars that didn't have GPS, that had to write where the stars were and make maps and all this for future sailors because they didn't know GPS was coming and things of that nature. So these people can be reliable. And they show star movements. They show different positions of the stars year to year. Now, we won't notice it because we only live for 40, 50, 70, 80 years. But look at what humanity has done over centuries, and you'll see the stars move. And you can't deny that. Or you can if you want, but just denying it doesn't make it wrong.
The constellation patterns don't change.
What do you mean by that?
We have the same constellation. I mean, yes, the constellations are different depending upon the season.
Mm-hmm. Which is what I said at the beginning that you said was stupid. So again, how was I stupid and you're correct here?
I don't remember exactly what your phrasing. It was your phrasing that I had an issue with, I think.
My phrasing was that, okay, but maybe you don't understand what equinoxes are then, because when I said the equinoxes, that's two distinct times when the Earth is directly in line with the sun, where we have exactly one half of the northern hemisphere and one half of the southern hemisphere lit up by the Earth at one time. So because of that, because I used those two actual positions in the orbit, they're exactly 6 months apart from each other. And if you go look at a calendar, you'll see that it's about March 21st and about September 22nd, I believe, or 23rd or something along that nature. Exactly 6 months apart from each other. And I said, in 6 months, the constellations that are at solar midnight, which means when the sun's on the opposite side, let's say you're laying with your back to the Earth, when the sun's on your ass side, what's in front of you is one set of constellation, and that's considered solar midnight. Now, once the Earth goes around 6 months later, and you're looking up at the stars at night, and the sun's still on your ass side, well, guess what? Those constellations that were at your solar midnight are now at your solar noon. Now, what I said and you said was stupid was exactly what you said, just a little bit more, with a little bit more explanatory power. Now, how was I stupid again, and you're not?
Look, here's what I'm saying: is I don't think you're answering the question that I'm asking.
I just gave you the exact same fucking answer.
Okay.
That you said. Okay.
No,
all right, hang on a second. Whoa, hang on a second.
I don't think it's registering to you the question that I'm asking. I understand that you're parroting back things. That
hang on, Jackson.
You're used to saying. Look, I understand that you're used to saying these same things.
Jackson,
I get that.
hang on.
What I'm saying is, well, he just went off for like an hour.
No. Hang on a second. No. I'm not trying to stop you. I just. What is your specific question that he's not answering?
Well, what I'm saying is if we're going through infinite expanding space, and we have already agreed that the constellation patterns are the same depending upon the season. They're the same year after year. You can go out there, and sailors, as he said, sailors relied on those to navigate. So
no, they relied on the North Star to navigate. The North Star tells you what your latitude is in the northern hemisphere.
So you think that the constellations are different? Then you think that they spread out?
I know that they're different every single night because all the stars are in motion, and while we might not be able to tell from here, when given enough time, you will see the stars move. The North Star moves. We'll have a different North Star in several thousand years. They had a different North Star several thousand years ago. These are just facts.
I mean, facts according to what?
Egyptian archaeologists.
What, you know one of them?
Sailors' almanacs. I don't have to. That's, you know what you just committed is what's called a genetic fallacy. Do you know what that is?
I mean, it sounds like some pseudoscience to me.
No, see, then you don't understand what pseudoscience is either. Then.
Do you know what the scientific method is? Can you tell me what that is?
Stop. A genetic fallacy is when you say, when you go, hey, I don't believe you, because I wasn't
you have
there.
no proof?
Or, no, because I wasn't there. Or you can't say, you know, like if I do this well-documented scientific experiment and I submit it to you and you go,
You keep saying the word scientific. I don't think you know what it means. I'm going to just deny that because I wasn't there. That right there in itself is what's called a genetic fallacy. And that just means that you're denying it because of your own. What is the scientific method? Okay, you make an observation, you form a hypothesis, you test your hypothesis, and then you come to
testable, observable, repeatable.
Wow, that's not the 4 steps in the scientific method. Did you not ask me what the 4 steps were in the scientific method? Now you're trying to turn around observable, testable, repeatable. Yeah, who's parroting what? And who doesn't know what they're talking about? Exactly. You don't. Stop trying to parrot what you find on YouTube and only speak on what you absolutely know.
On YouTube. On YouTube,
I guarantee you that everything you're saying right now
don't you have a YouTube? Oh, you guarantee it.
I'm not parroting anything off YouTube, am I?
Don't you have a YouTube channel?
Am I parroting anything off YouTube?
Are you a YouTube personality?
Dude, am I parroting anything off YouTube?
Because I talk to naval intelligence officers, by the way.
I was in the Navy, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. What do you have to say about that? All right, so you were talking to people in the Navy. I was in the Navy, and
what was your job?
Bullshit ass point. I was a radar technician, and guess what? We have a radar horizon. Do you know why we have a radar horizon? Because there's something called the frickin' Earth that gets in the way. If we didn't have a fucking radar horizon, why can't we just see forever with radars? How about answer that?
Because radar doesn't go forever.
Oh, and you have evidence of that?
I mean, signal diminishes as it goes through a medium.
Oh, so you understand how radars work then. I was a radar technician. Do you want to talk about that?
That's not really what I was trying to get into.
You don't. You're right. You don't want to get into any of this with me. I guarantee you, I'll make you look stupid. More stupid than I already have made you look in this 30 seconds we've had or whatever amount of time. So what's your next point that you want me to school you on and make you look dumb at?
No, you haven't even addressed the first one yet.
You said stars don't move. You have no proof. You just said that. I told you that they do.
I said the constellations are the same.
Okay, and I told you it's been documented that it's different. Hold on. Be quiet. Let the adult talk.
I don't care about documented. I care about what's observable.
Let the adult talk, okay? That is observable.
Man,
they observed it. They observed it and they documented it. Yeah, I know, because I'm an adult and you're the little child that doesn't know how to shut up and listen.
You're the one being a little baby dog.
They have documented it. Men have, okay? Not scientists, sailors, right? So we're supposed to believe your naval intelligence friend, but we can't believe all the thousands of sailors that prove you wrong? Go ahead, special plead your way out of that one. Go ahead. Tell me how it's okay for you to use your naval intelligence friend, but it's not okay for me to point out the thousands of sailors that have made these observations and documented them and published them hundreds of years ago. I'll wait for your answer.
I'm simply saying that...
Nothing intelligent? But go ahead.
Well,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you with the funny joke.
I have a little bit of a headache now. I'm sorry.
I bet you do. Bet you weren't expecting this when you got into this conversation, were you?
Yeah, okay. All right, man. So here's the thing is, if you're in ever-expanding space, shit should change, and it doesn't.
Define ever-expanding space.
That's what...
And define why.
If we're okay, so think about...
And how.
So think about it like this. So think about like... If you're driving through a city that is...
Hold on one second. I'm sorry, 1 second. Let me put on my retard cap so I can understand what you're saying. Go ahead now. I got it on.
Okay, cool. Okay, so if you're driving through a city, right, and you're perpetually driving through this city, and it's a giant city, and it's massive, like outer space, right? Supposedly, like outer space supposedly is. Okay, so if you're driving through the city and you keep seeing the same lights night after night, year after year, eventually you're going to think, I'm on some kind of a loop. I'm going in a fucking circle. I'm fucking stuck. I'm in this same place. This shit is moving around me. I'm not going through anything.
Okay, so let me ask you a question then. If you were sitting on a merry-go-round and spun for years and years and years, how far away would you get away from the horses that are always always, keyword always, right next to you.
You cut out there for a second, man.
Okay. If you were on a merry-go-round and you were spinning on that merry-go-round and you spun on it for years, how long would it take you to get to be separated from the horses that are next to you? Or from what carousel, not a merry-go-round, a carousel, let's say.
The horse that I'm sitting on?
Well, we'll just say you're standing in the carousel at any point. You're standing in the carousel. How far away are the horses? How long is it going to take for the horses to get far away from you?
They'll stay exactly in the same spot. They're fixed.
There you go. Because
Just
they're
like
moving.
the stars in the sky.
Right. They're fixed to the position, to relative to a certain position called the center of our galaxy. Right? So our galaxy rotates and the stars rotate around with it. If you rotate with the galaxy, then the stars would never look like they rotate, neither would the galaxy. If you look at it over 50 years of your life, guess what? It's not going to look like it rotates much because it takes hundreds of millions of years to do it.
Have you ever heard of the Michelson-Morley experiment?
Yep. 100%. I'm very well versed in that, so I hope you know what you're talking about. Start asking me questions about it.
Well, I just have one question. Why didn't they do it on the moon?
Why would they need to?
So that they could actually prove it instead of it proving that there is no motion of the earth, and there's only motion of the ether.
Okay, so there's only motion of the ether. So let's talk about that then. What were the measurements that the Michelson-Morley experiment came up with?
It was zero motion of the earth.
That's wrong. That's wrong. That's why I'm telling you you're parroting stuff and you don't know what you're talking about. I've researched that claim, okay? I've read the experiments that how it was done, when it was done. Did you know that they did it on at opposite points in the orbit? Did you know that? Do you know why they did it in opposite points of the orbit?
To try to correct their mistake?
No, not at all. Because they figured the ether doesn't move with the earth, so that the earth would have to be moving through the ether. So in one direction, in 6 months, remember how I told you they're 6 months apart, you're on opposite sides of the sun? When in orbit, you're also going in opposite directions. So when you take a measurement and then you wait, I think they waited either 3 or 4 months so that it wasn't like a perfectly opposite to the way the ether was supposed to be perpetuating this whatever drag that it was supposed to have. Well, that's why they did it at 2 different times, because they knew the earth was going around the sun. The second thing, they didn't measure 0. They measured 4 or 5 different measurements ranging from 1 kilometer a second to 10 kilometers a second. So no matter what you think, the ether's still moving relative to the earth. And because they're a lot smarter than you and I, they knew better than to say, yeah, the earth stands still. It's the and the ether's standing still with it. No, they said that was a null experiment. That was a null result. That result proved that we're not relative, or we don't move through this ether. If there was an ether, it didn't move with the earth. And that was stupid to them, because they already knew that the earth goes around the sun.
Do you know when the first globe was created?
Is this just a fucking pick my brain type thing? Because now we're not even talking about shape of the earth. You started with the Michelson-Morley, and now that I just told you that, you now want to jump over to some other topic. Address what I said. Address what I said.
Well, yeah, so here's the thing. We do need to... Hang on a second, Jackson. Just a second.
They knew.
Jackson, just a second. So
science before them.
They did prove that the ether moved and not the earth. Yeah, that's correct.
Jackson, just a second. So, okay, cool. So here's the thing. Let's try and keep this a back and forth about as on topic as we can. So when you put out a claim, team will address a claim, and then when team puts out a claim, if we can just keep that going.
I wish I could go by team.
Well, I can call you team if you want.
I don't want to go by team. That's dumb. No offense, team.
You're not the only one that envies me. I would really like you to address what I just said, though.
All right, so here we go.
What the Michelson-Morley experiment is all about, not what your flat Earth friend told you in your video.
It proves that the ether moves.
Oh, it proved that the ether does not exist. Do you know how proof works in science? Number one, do you know how proof works in science?
I'm sure you're going to tell me your version of it.
Oh, I'm about to explain some things to you, okay? Science is not responsible for proving anything. Science disproves bad ideas, like the flat earth, okay? Scientists don't go out looking to prove that the earth is round. They know the earth is round. It's an observable fact. It's an objective fact. It's not subjective.
What's the observation? What's the observation that proves the earth is round?
I mean, can you see forever? Can you see ships not going over the horizon at any point in time?
Great.
Can you see a ship that goes out far and far and far away, and you can just continuously look at it? And then you can go, hold on, let me finish. Then you can pull out binoculars and see it more. And then you can set the binoculars down and pull out a telescope and see it more. And then you can put the telescope away and pull out something even stronger and see further. No. It gets to the limit of about a digital camera's a resolution and able to be pulled back into view, and the ship goes completely over the horizon. At that point, any stronger view is not going to bring the ship back into horizon. It's just going to
it goes out of linear. It goes out of linear perspective, dude.
Wow, so that's a lot of word salad that you'd like to be putting out, but I'm not somebody that's going to accept your bullshit. So it's not about linear.
Because the human eye can't see forever. We don't have infinite vision.
Yeah, I know, but did you hear what I said to begin with? You can continuously pull something out that increases your angular resolution of what you're seeing. In other words, no matter how far something goes away, you should be able to pull something out that's stronger and see something that's further. Now,
there's not infinite technology for that we have access to.
There's no need for it. You don't see things disappear over the horizon into a dot. You see them go over the horizon bottom first. It'd be different if it went into a dot. Then yes, you could pull.
When you see someone walk down the street, they also disappear bottom first. Are they going over the curve too?
It depends on what they're walking on. If they're walking on, if
they're walking down a football field, and you are sitting on the ground. You watch them walk all the way down the football field. They will disappear bottom first. Are they going over a curb?
Not at that distance, no. Not if you're sitting down on a field because you have an elevation.
The same observable phenomenon occurs.
Okay, so what you're talking about is like refraction at the ground level, which is where the air is warmest because the ground heats up the atmosphere. Now, do you know how refraction works? At close to the
sun heats up the
ground and no, the sun does not heat up the atmosphere. I'm sorry that you're misinformed by that. No, you're wrong. The sun heats up the earth. The atmosphere does not absorb visible light.
So if the sun
that's how you can look up and see the sun.
And then the earth heats up the atmosphere, then the sun heats up the atmosphere.
No, the sun heats up the earth.
Right. So then by proxy, it heats up the atmosphere.
No, the sun heats up the earth.
Okay, so
I know what you're trying to say, but I'm not going to let you get away with bad scientific statements. No.
Yeah, but then you're saying, then you're saying that the Earth is what heats up the air.
Okay, so
what heats up the Earth?
So let me ask you a question. Okay, let me ask you a question. If the Earth was covered by snow or ice and was reflecting all the light away, would it be warm still, or would it get really cold?
It would melt.
It would get really fucking cold because it just reflects all the light back into space, and the atmosphere would not heat up. Okay. See, this is you're not very intelligent when it comes to science, but that's fine. We can still deal with the conversation. But at the same time, what's your next point? When the globes were first made? I don't know, and I don't care. It doesn't matter because it's still a globe in reality.
Except what's your observable evidence of it?
Of it? Of what?
Of curvature. Yeah.
I told you things go over the curve. It's measurable. We have pictures that we've taken from good friends of mine in the community, non-NASA, not CGI pictures of people that are at a certain height looking at something that it's the exact same height and seeing something that's further away that's below that height. If the Earth wasn't curving away, then no matter how big it was, it should never go below eye level.
Are you? I mean, you seem a little emotional about this, man.
I'm not. What are you talking about? You don't follow me. That's fine. This is how I am normally. I'm actually being nice and easy to you. Okay, believe me.
How do you explain the high altitude balloons that show an eye level horizon? That the horizon raises to the level of the observer, no matter how high you go.
That's not correct either. These are just facts that you're saying that you're claiming without any evidence whatsoever. We have a friend of ours named Sean Hufford who has a drone, who's taken a drone up and kept his gimbal, kept the camera using a gimbal, keeping it at perfectly eye level. And guess what? As he goes up, the elevation drops. We also have Wolfie 6020, who is a pilot. He flies. He's done the exact same experiment that you're saying, the exact same observation that you say does not happen, happens when he does it. Why is it?
Well, why don't I see that whenever I fly?
Because you don't care about the truth. You just care about flat Earth and anything that's going to strengthen your resolve and strengthen your beliefs.
I know that I can put a ruler up to the window of the plane, and I can see the horizon at my eye level. Yeah. And I've taken a level on a plane.
When you say at eye level, what the fuck do you mean by that? Do you know how dumb what you just said was? But go ahead and explain to me how you get eye level on a plane when you're looking at a ruler in a window. I would love to hear your amazing pinpoint accuracy and the ability to keep your eyes at perfectly 90 degrees to the pull of gravity. I would love that. Please demonstrate it.
The horizon when I fly on a plane is at the midpoint of the window. And I stay it no matter how high we go, I watch from the time that we take off.
Wow.
From the time that we take off, it stays stationary at the exact same spot. I have taped a fucking ruler.
How much should it drop? How much should it drop? See, you should know these things, right? Hold on. No. You should know these things.
It should drop some.
It does. You just don't know what you're doing. You're saying, look, I'm looking at the top of a ruler,
and it still works.
I don't care. I don't care what you did with the taping a ruler. How would you have known whether it dropped behind it or not? Okay, so you're telling me now you put the ruler right up to the horizon, right? And you kept your eyes just perfect. Didn't move them not one time, because any movement is you're not going to be you're never going to be able to get perfectly back where you were at, right? Or are you just some kind of superhuman that's better than all of us? Right. Your experiment was
I am superhuman in a lot of ways.
Your experiment was dumb to begin with. I don't care what you think you saw. You didn't do anything. You didn't take any markings. You didn't document it whatsoever. You just said, I saw this, and you think that that's going to work with a person like me? No, I want to see evidence. My friends produce evidence. I believe my friends more than I just believe some guy who says, I went up in a plane, taped the ruler to the window, and saw it from
some guy to me, and those are all just some guy to you. Those are all just some guy to me, right?
The thing is, that they have evidence.
So
they have evidence.
Ways.
You don't. They have evidence. You don't.
I have my own personal observable.
You have an anecdotal experience. That's it. You used your personal eyes and think you're going to be able to do it like that. They're using professional equipment. Sorry, bud.
Have you looked at?
You're out of your league.
Have you looked at J Tolan One Media's?
Yeah, we've debunked that several times. Are you about to bring up the observations from the dunes about the skyline of observations, the Chicago skyline? Please tell me you are.
All right, hang on. Time out. Everybody, time out for a second. Time out for a second.
I don't even think you need professional equipment.
Well, hang on a second. Here we go. I got to take a quick break, so let's pin that. We're going to come back to that when we come back from break. I've got a couple tunes to play. Don't go anywhere. We got some more with Team Skeptic and Action Jackson. So give us just a few minutes. We'll be back here shortly. Play a couple of tunes.
So
all right.
Live,
so we're back live. What did we leave? Where did we leave off of? We pinned something. What did we pin? What was that topic?
I don't know. I feel like we've moved on already.
See, but you guys are killing me.
Well, killing you. I mean, you put us here into this situation.
That's what I do. I'm a puppet master.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question then, and I want you to tell me to the best of your abilities, because it's going to be hard without showing you a picture. But
is there something I could pull up? That would
Yeah,
help
you guys can
his
put.
weight?
You just go to the general chat. Put all your stuff in the general chat. You
Let
can,
me see. Well, yeah, I've got to find the picture actually because I literally yesterday I rebooted everything on my computer because I lost my channel and I just wanted to make sure that
What did you get taken down for?
Either somebody hijacked it or
Like you
it
got
was a
like
glitch.
you got like what is that called? Like porn bombed or like?
No, not like that. I literally lost control of my channel.
Oh, so like a misdirected email, like or whatever, like
It would not
like a
go to my
login?
channel. Yeah, exactly. It would not. When I logged in, it said I had no channel, and I have about 24,000 subscribers. It went from that to no channel, and I was like freaking the fuck out. But once it got all said and done, I was like, just to make sure I don't have a Trojan horse on my computer, because that's what Google said. If you got something on your computer, you might want to be worried still.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, fuck this.
Trust Google. We can't go trusting Google now.
I reinstalled everything on my computer, and it's running like a mister. But let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find this. I'm gonna mute my mic so you don't hear me typing. But let me see.
the typing is a sexy sound.
Typing. It was fun.
Yeah.
God, I can't believe I don't even do any drugs. So weird.
Don't. Come on. You're killing me.
I mean,
I'm going to hold you to the fire on that one.
I don't do any government drugs.
Well, that's different.
Okay. Let me find a good picture so it's easy for you to see what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Fight the Flat Earth has this picture, and I need it now, and I don't have it, and he's not up.
It's because Fight the Flat Earth goes to sleep.
Okay, so I'm
If
gonna
you
go
just
ahead
want to
and-
try your best without it, it's cool. Or if you can tell me something similar to.
I got the link the link real quick. Let me. I'm putting it in the Discord right now, so you can at least see it.
Cool.
Give me 1 second.
So what happened to Sean? He just bailed out.
I don't know. Sean, you still there?
Okay, I'm posting it in general. Can you see general?
I think I'm in general.
Yeah,
Let me
everybody
make
should be in
sure.
general. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Let's see.
that was a long ass.
Plot hole. All I've got right now is "Hope we're having fun" from Johnny.
You should look under text channels under the plot hole.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's under general. Okay, plot hole secret
Wait.
group.
I don't really know how this. Okay, so wait, general or secret group?
General.
Okay.
It's a long
yeah, I
ass
see it
link.
now.
Let's see if that pulls up.
It's giving me a redirect notice.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me just save. Upload it.
Oh, okay. I got it now, I think. Let's see.
Okay, it should be like 3 flat Earth, right?
It's like a. Yeah, it's like a azimuth equidistant, I believe, right?
Yeah, and you got 3 of them. The yellow represents light.
The
it's
sun,
not yellow,
the sun
it's
spotlight,
darkness.
right?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna focus on the middle one, right? All right. Now this is
Wait,
an
it's the middle-
observation.
you're talking about the red circle.
The reds. Okay. I think we're looking at 2 different pictures. Let me go ahead and save this, and I'm actually just gonna post the actual picture
Screenshot it.
itself.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Cool.
Okay, so now you should be able to see it in Discord. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Okay, can you see that picture in Discord now?
Okay, let me see if I can zoom it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, so twice a year, all right, the sun makes this, it has this really unique property about it, okay? It happens to be where the Earth, the side of the face of the Earth that faces the sun is perfectly perpendicular to the orbital plane. So that means that what you're getting is exactly.
And those are a lot of words that I don't really understand.
Okay.
To be perfectly
so
honest with you.
what you're getting is 1/2 of the northern hemisphere in sunlight, and 1/2 of the southern hemisphere in sunlight, and 1/2 of the northern hemisphere in darkness, and southern hemisphere in darkness as well. It only happens twice a year because of the tilt. When there's a tilt, every other day of the year, you get a little bit of the northern hemisphere leaning towards the sun, or a little bit of the southern hemisphere leaning towards the sun. But on the equinoxes, neither hemisphere is leaning towards the sun. It's perfectly perpendicular to the orbital plane. So,
Wait, are you trying to explain it? Are you trying to explain a globe to me right now?
No, I'm giving you both explanations. Right here, you can see the sun happens to be lighting up half of the Earth. I'm telling you now that in the globe model,
you said to look at the middle one, right?
Yeah, look at the middle one. In the globe model, the sun line, that line between daylight and nighttime.
That's the Terminator line, right?
The Terminator line, exactly. On a globe model, on the equinoxes, the Terminator line runs to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Because it makes a perfect circle all the way around the Earth, half of the northern hemisphere is in light, half of it is in dark, and half of it is
the southern. Do you think that's why they named the band the perfect circle? Do you think that's a reference to the Terminator line?
Perfect circle.
That's what Maynard.
Johnny would know that. Right?
Yeah, it's a Tool. Tools. James Maynard Keenan did a
Tool
side band,
spin-off band.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, okay.
I'm not a fan of it either.
Keep going, brother. I'm sorry, my bad.
Okay. So
you were at the perfect Terminator line all the way around the Earth, whatever, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So now, if you'll think of dividing that yellow two equal parts, okay, right down the middle. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, okay. So you divide that part into two equal parts, and then you go down halfway, and that would be. Now, when that's what this represents.
That would be, you said you go down halfway, would be.
Yeah, if you follow that line, if you drew a line from the North Pole, let's say, and bisected that directly in half, okay? Halfway down would be the equator. That's where your sun would be in real life. Okay, that's what would be the subsolar point. That means the point that's directly beneath the sun according to the surface of the Earth, okay? So what you get, if you'll look, the sun runs all the way down to Antarctica, all right? So from the equator to that point in Antarctica that is still in light is longer than the point from the equator to the other side of the North Pole, which is in darkness. Do you understand that?
I'm trying to visualize what you're saying, man. It's just
okay. You know what? Give me 1 second. I can throw Photoshop and draw. That way, we're not trying to guess. This won't take me that long.
I just don't want to misunderstand you, and then we wind off all sideways.
No, it's fine. It's fine. This is perfect. I'd rather discuss this anyway. Let me go ahead and I just got to load it up into After Effects and make a quick drawing for you.
So, real quick, team, should I do the After Effects?
Huh?
Should I get in on the After Effects?
Hold on 1 second. Just gotta. Yeah, probably.
Oh, there goes Sean. He fell asleep.
Oh wait, it's a shape tool that I.
All right, so while team's doing that, this is the part where I'm going to tell you guys. You can all. We do this every Friday night, not necessarily with team and Jackson. That's just kind of fun. It's for this show, but we broadcast on the Plot Hole every Friday night at 8 to 11 Central. rockmetaltalk.com. You can always find the archives. If you miss it live, you can catch it on repeats. You can download it. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're syndicated all across the. I'm trying to look on this Flat Earth model where we are syndicated. I want to pick the specific areas, but fuck it. The Northern Hemisphere, we'll say that. You can become a Patreon, patreon.com/theplothole1. That's the number one. Please don't spell it out. For a little as $1 a month, you can join the Plot Hole as a guest producer, different tiers, different levels of stuff. Check out Team Skeptic on his channel on YouTube. You just YouTube look up Team Skeptic now that it's slowly but surely coming back. Check out his content. Jackson, do you have what's your Instagram again, Jackson? I had it.
We are.
Okay, yeah, we are the PSYOP on Instagram. Check that guy out, where you can follow along with what he's got to say. And
I also have Stop 5G Texas, by the way.
Stop 5G Texas. All right, so we got that one as well. Yeah, follow these guys.
Cool.
Get him some, you know, I mean.
All right, so yeah,
I'm almost ready. I'm almost ready for you.
Yeah. No worries.
While we're still getting ready, I'm still plugging things.
Okay, yeah. What else are we gonna plug?
Let's see here. I'm gonna plug. I plugged the jug, so whatever. All right. Yeah.
Somebody throw the suicide hotline phone number out there.
That's
I
true.
feel like somebody might need that at some point.
Really.
What's going on in the world right now?
Well, for certain. Like,
some people are real depressed.
Yeah, with this self-isolation thing, that is a real concern, a real issue. So, yeah, please reach out to somebody.
Anybody struggling or whatever and needs somebody to talk to, I fucking got all day.
Yeah.
I'm here for the people, you know.
Reach out. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Don't do anything that's going to be a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
That's kind of what I've been doing is like just connect. What have you guys been doing during this? Like, I guess you're back to work, Johnny.
Yeah, they voluntold us to go back to work today.
They volunteered you to?
They voluntold us.
Oh,
yeah.
Voluntold you.
Yeah, I'm a little irritated with the whole situation because we were told that stores were closed until the 31st or through the 31st at a minimum, and then everybody's getting paid where they normally get paid and all this mess, and then like 48 hours 2 days ago, like, oh yeah, we're gonna open up these stores and everybody has to work. But we just got off a call with the big bosses that we don't have to work. And like, well, no, you do have to work. It's like, well, son of a bitch. So yeah, I'm a little irritated with what's going on there. But other than that, I mean, I've got kids, so I get to play school teacher throughout the day while the wife works. She works from home as well. So it's been a lot of fun. I get to connect with the kiddos and have a good time.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
Almost. I know I was saying almost for a second, but I really do.
No, it's cool, man.
Yeah.
I just want to get it perfect. I'm a perfectionist, so I want to get it perfectly lined up so I can demonstrate this perfectly.
Yep. J.L. Warren looked like he was about to type something. I think he.
Oh, wait up, J.L. Warren.
I'm not sure.
I know who that is. Okay. Wait, is it in the thing? I'm walking through my house.
That's all right.
Carrying something, I'm trying to learn to clean up after myself, but I don't do a very good job of it. I always let shit pile up. It's just like that. Like,
okay, I think I got it. I'm putting it in chat now.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Oh fuck! I saved it the wrong. Oh no, I didn't. I didn't save it. That's what it is. Hold on.
Sounds like
I got it set up in render mode and forgot to hit render.
Oh well, there you go.
I might come down with a case of COVID 420 here in a minute. So, just a little heads up.
There we go.
Coughing,
okay.
like, don't.
Now,
right,
can you see that picture right there?
Wait a minute, team. It took you that long to draw an L?
He said he wanted to get it right, Johnny.
I did want to get it right.
So is that 60 degrees?
No, it's no.
Like
Well,
I'm saying,
no. Okay, so to the crossing the North Pole, or relatively close to 90 degrees.
Well, I'm saying at the matrix of where the two red lines meet, is that a 60 degree angle?
No, well, I don't know what that angle would be. That's not really the point. The point is that's where the sun would be. Okay, so the sun would be there. The whole idea is that this line, both red lines are the same distance. So the sun, for some reason, the light does not reach across the North Pole, but it makes it all the way down to the South Pole.
Okay.
And you can actually go and they have observations that are timed. You can go to like timeanddate.com and see just pick a random city in the southern hemisphere and go and see what it says about their sunrise and sunset. And then I'm telling you, the equinox days are on the same days every year. So on the same day, this happens. And this is an observation that needs to be explained. If I'm ever to become a flat earther, because I would prefer to believe on the type of earth I live on, which is why I'm a globe earther. If I was going to be a flat earther, I would need to be this observation would need to be explained to me with a basic observation, or with a basic explanation that doesn't require any belief in some spiritual being or magical science or magical property of light that we don't understand when scientists already understand light. Without something like that, that observation needs to be explained.
Do you think that there's not properties of this reality? Do you believe that there are properties of this reality, functions of this reality, however you want to put it, that are kept hidden from the masses?
Of reality? No.
Like you don't think there's occult knowledge?
No. Like you'd have to be a little bit more like it. If you're saying do the elites keep secrets from the people that aren't in their elite little group? Obviously, and they happen to also be the people that are more influential in the world. So, like me and you, we could have our own secret society, but me and you aren't doing much, right? Because we're just normal people.
Because we don't have the bread.
Rockefeller, right? But that's fine. But I mean, that's not conspiratorial to me. That's just common.
Well, it is conspiracy, but it's not what. It's not I mean, because a conspiracy is just like a group of people meeting to.
No, but I'm saying in the terms that a conspiracy theorist might think, where there's an attempt.
Do you know where that?
Do
you know where that term came from?
That I don't.
It came from the CIA coined that term to discredit anyone who questioned the official.
You cut out there.
Term to disparage critical thinking.
No,
Yes,
I'm sorry. Your definition. Hold on. Your definition of thinking and my definition of critical thinking are going to be two completely different.
Well, let me rephrase that then. Let me rephrase that as to discredit anyone who questions the official narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So why then was the Gulf of Tonkin? Why was
false
that?
flag?
No. Why did it get out to the public?
You mean like why did they disclose that?
No, why did it become knowledge to the public if it was, not real and there was nobody there to expose it or anything like that? Why did it eventually become knowledge?
That's what I'm saying. There's something about this reality that there's more to it than just simple human biological intelligence.
Hear me out. Well, no, come on, no. That's an extraordinary claim. You'd have to have some kind of evidence, even.
I mean, like I said, I have my personal observations, and I feel like I can see things that the average person can't see.
But can't you not agree that you come from about as much of a point of ignorance as I come from?
I mean, I think we've all been lied to, yeah. I think we've been lied to about the true nature of what we are, who we are.
I'm talking about should I hold one position that says no, we're not lied to, and you hold the other position that says yes, we are lied to. You don't have any proof of that. You're just as ignorant to it as I am. To my position.
I mean, I know we've been lied to because we've been systematically poisoned, robbed, and lied to our entire lives.
Okay. Recently, my dad said almost something exactly similar, and I pissed him off with this one question. Okay, he said this COVID-19 virus is just a way for the socialists to gain control of the country. Right? It's just a way for them to take over everything. And I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, no, it's not. It's a serious thing. You need to be worried about this. You need, not because it's going to kill you, like they say, but because you can pass it on to the next person. And we don't have a viable way of fighting it yet. That's why it's important not to transmit it to several people so that we can figure out a way of fighting it so it's not a big deal to us. It's not the end of humanity. It's just something we need to be aware of. My dad comes back and goes, no, this is the way they get you on martial law. Everybody knows that. I said, everybody knows that. Well, I don't.
Well, we've been under quasi-martial law for a very long time.
Okay, but tell me,
the Constitution has been suspended since the 1933 Banking Act.
That I don't believe in. I took an oath I swore to the oath of the Constitution. If it was not being upheld, then I'm sure that we would know something. Do you know that cops are
cops don't even know their oath anymore.
Hang on a second. Officers
are private citizens.
They're
Yeah, they're private citizens that work for the state.
Yeah,
they don't work for the
private
federal
security
government.
force.
Yeah, they don't work for the federal government. So I don't know what you're talking about the Constitution. The United States doesn't. You don't oath into the police force based on the Constitution of the United States. When you do your oath to get into the police force, you take the oath based on the state that you're in. So all the police officers in the state of Texas take a state of Texas oath.
Do you know? Are you familiar with what that is?
I don't. I'm not a cop, and that's just what I heard from my cop friend who is a cop in Dallas.
Do you support the police?
Absolutely, 100%.
You support, even though knowing that it's proven that over 50% of them abuse their families?
That is an unfortunate. Should that be true? I'm not saying that it is true or not because I don't know the statistic off the top of my head, but I wouldn't think that that's a hard one to swallow. First off, 50%, 1 out of every 2 cops you're looking at beats their family.
It's actually more than that. I believe it's over 60%.
I would love to see that scientific study because I'm calling.
It's not scientific. It's that they've had domestic abuse violations filed against them from their own family members.
Okay,
60%.
So hold on. Okay, again, you need to provide evidence for that. Just saying 60%. What are you saying? Are you saying from the number of cop families you watched on YouTube and TV and you talked to in real life? 60% of them had given you a reason to believe?
This is a real study.
I need to see that study before I just believe that 60% of all cops beat their family.
Okay.
Because I know several cops and they don't beat their family. They're really good.
Well, they still enforce unjust laws, so therefore they're not good cops.
That's what you say. You think it's unjust. Are you a Freemason? Are you not a Freemason? What is freemen of the country, sovereign citizens?
I don't really subscribe. I don't even subscribe to being a flat earther. Honestly, I don't subscribe when the system gives you 2 options. Both of them are fucked.
The system doesn't give you any options here. You can go out and see for yourself. Go out. I challenge you to something, okay? I want you to test your own beliefs here. I want you to go out on March. Oh, shit. We just passed it.
Yeah, I was going to say we missed it.
I was going to say just passed it. 6 months from now, I'm going to give you time. 6 months. I want you to go out and I want you to tell me which direction the sun rises, okay? Now, I don't want you to go look it up. I don't want you to do anything. I just want
me to observe it with my eyeballs.
No, I want you to predict where it's going to be and then make an observation based on that prediction. You already know the sun rises, right? I mean, we can both agree on that, yes or no? The sun rises from what appears to be the horizon up into the sky, correct?
Okay, so it's 40% of police. 2 studies have found that at least 40% of police officers' families experience domestic violence, in contrast to 10% of families in the general population.
And you know what? Anybody who doesn't like cops for that reason, the next time they're in danger or have somebody try
I would
to
never call the cops, bro.
I guarantee you. Hey,
we don't call the cops around here.
Hey, real quick.
Guess what?
J.L. Warren.
You that moment that you get put into a situation where you can't defend yourself and you do need the cop support, you will be the first one.
Hang on. Hey, real quick.
You're a dumb motherfucker if you think that I would.
Hang on a second. So J.L. Warren has posted that study team. If you're looking, the one that Jackson is citing, he's put that study in the group chat or in the general chat.
JL, send that to me. DM it to me so I don't have to find it later. I'll know it's in your DM or it's in my.
He sent like the super long one. I just went off for the cliff notes. He's got the whole thing here, and I mean I remember going through this. We went through this on a show that I did. That was like a couple of years ago though. But yeah, cops they get paid off stolen money. So anyone who gets paid off stolen money is a criminal. I don't support criminals.
Stolen money.
It is stolen money. Because it's money that's stolen from people that are working.
How is it stolen?
Through their taxes.
It's not stolen. You don't have to pay taxes.
You don't pay taxes?
I said you don't have to.
You go to jail if you don't buy cops.
Hey, That's a consequence of your actions.
No,
but nobody is telling you.
That's what the mafia does. You understand? That's what the
what?
mafia does.
Stop driving on the roads. Stop driving on the roads. Stop going to places that are funded by the public. Stop doing all that shit, because guess what?
Guess what? I don't
stop
do
paying
that shit.
taxes. Okay,
Guess
good
what?
for you.
I
But guess
don't
what?
do
You
that
live in a
shit.
country where you make the choice to live here, and you pay the taxes because you.
I don't make the choice to live here. You try to leave. You know what happens if you try to leave?
Give me a break.
You know what happens if you try to leave?
Yeah, you go. My fucking family. I have a family that lives in Argentina. They go to Argentina all the time. They don't have.
Oh my God! I hope that Natasha is listening right now that you just said Argentina. Anyway, yeah, but I'm saying like, okay, but they've got. It's not fair to just tell when over how many. Somebody tell them figure out what the poverty percentage is. It's like 70%, right?
Yeah, that's a consequence of capitalism that has nothing to do with paying taxes. You don't make any money, you don't pay taxes. Here's the unfortunate: even poor people use the roads. Even poor people go to school.
Dude, roads. Come on. You think that's where the government budget goes, is to roads?
That's one of the many things that it probably does go to, yes.
Well, do you know what the
State
largest
taxes and
do you know what
city
the
taxes,
largest amount of federal funding goes to?
Probably
Defense.
military defense.
Right. And how do you
Do you not appreciate that? Do you not appreciate that?
how do you defend?
Go live in Somalia then. You know?
Right, so I can get invaded by our military? Yeah, that exactly. Our military are the ones murdering people.
Oh,
Cops.
okay.
Cops and military are the ones murdering people. The government kills people.
No, people kill people.
Yeah, people that work for the government kill the majority of people. Like
you
your
sure about
argument
that?
of yes, what do you
Where's your proof of that?
You just said it yourself. You just said go live in Somalia, and when you need someone to protect you.
Oh no,
It'll be-
no. I didn't tell you to go to get America to come protect you. I said go live in Somalia, where they have a country that's not built on its defense from the inside out. You'll see the difference firsthand, not from the luxury of your home and in the chair you're sitting in, talking across the internet. All these freedoms you're enjoying and thinking taxes are stealing your money. You're crazy and disingenuous.
That's not crazy. It's unconstitutional, by the way.
If it was unconstitutional, they could easily. Why has anybody petitioned for it? Why aren't there lawsuits up to have the justices, the Supreme Court justices?
The revolution will not be televised, my friend.
Obviously, your interpretation of it is incorrect.
So you were in the Navy, right? So you know what admiralty law is, right?
Admiralty law is not fucking applicable to state law.
you live under admiralty law. You are dead and lost at sea,
Whatever.
and you don't even know it.
Listen,
you don't even know that you're dead and lost at sea.
I don't need to know it.
You're
you know
a
why?
corpse
Because I
you're a
follow
corporate fiction.
Yes, so you are. You're one of those people that think that by signing your name in all caps, you're a piece of corporation. Well, why can't why can't I just go withdraw all the money they're making off of me for the interest that they're getting off of some bank that I have no idea? Because you know what? That money is as fictional as everything else you're saying. You are stuck in this, I got to be right, I got to be special, something is going on, and I need to be the one that exposes it. Well, the only thing that's going on is mental instability and paranoia. That's it. The whole world's not out to get you.
Is a heightened state of awareness. And so you don't do... you know that 5G is a military weapon, right? Because my friend who was naval intelligence, that's what he worked on, was microwaves. Microwaves.
No. Yeah.
Do you know about
radar?
microwaves?
Yes. I know exactly about
Do you know what a magnetron is?
Yes, I know what a magnetron is. It's in every microwave in your fucking kitchen.
Right. Oh, I don't have a microwave.
And it's inside of a radar. I do, and I'm gonna help. Fucking paranoid ass can't cook fucking macaroni and cheese quick. That's on you, bud.
I take my time, dog.
Guys, listen.
I do shit right.
How are you talking to me now? Over the internet? Yes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, at your home. I'm sorry, on a computer though, or you're talking to me on a computer?
I am on a phone. I haven't cut my service off yet.
I felt bad.
You're sitting here talking all
No,
this
I
shit
got-
about the government, 5G network, and you're communicating with us over these same networks, man. Come on now. You know that in every home, there's a 5G router in every home these days. 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz. You know,
It's not about
5G.
it's not about 5 gigahertz though. I mean, that is one of the
What is
spectrums.
it about?
but
Then? What's it about? What's it about?
It's about 60 gigahertz, man. That's the frequency at which the water molecules break down.
Okay, so what?
Okay, real quick, where do we have evidence of 60 megahertz being pumped into us?
It hasn't been turned on yet. Not here.
Okay, where?
I mean, it's hard to confirm what's happening in China.
Dude, it's 600
obvious
megahertz
reasons.
to 6 gigahertz. And if you're going to try to tie in coverage of 5G into the COVID virus, that too has been debunked. Why do we not see viruses everywhere from people that work around radar?
You know that the word debunk is code for cover up. And yes, you know that tower workers tower workers fucking they only have male babies, or they only have female babies. I forget which one it is. Or they're infertile. So,
Cool
dude,
story,
trust me, I've talked to them. I'm a fucking activist. I've gone out and talked to them.
I bet.
Man,
And all
we're
of
not
them
far. We're not
all
far
of them
away.
have boys.
We're not
All
far
of them
away
have
when.
boys.
All right, hang on a second.
Hey, you know
hang on a
what? No,
second. Hang on a
honestly,
second. Wait. So I got some. Hang on a second, everybody. Hang on. Pull the reins. Pull the reins.
Because I'm not a dick.
Jackson, hang on a second. All right, so we've got JL Warren in the chat talking about that 5G weaponization uses ionizing radiation, and 5G communications uses non-ionizing radiation, which does not harm people. What do you have to say about that?
I think that I have a scholarly friend, a gentleman who was he's an ex-minor league ball player. He played for whatever the minor league baseball team in Round Rock is. You know what that is, Sean?
Yeah, it's Rough Riders. No, I'm sorry, that's Frisco. Round Rock is. Oh God.
He was a pitcher for them. His name is Andrew McCarahan Jr. He retired, and he finished up his doctorate at the University of Texas at Austin, and he did his whole dissertation. I believe it was like 46 pages on the effects of electromagnetic radiation on humans, and there is no safe level of it. That's what Tesla knew. Tesla knew that the wireless system that he understood was harmful to us because we're electric beings first and chemical second.
Didn't Tesla also speak with pigeons through like laser beams?
And he thought he was talking to people on Mars, and he's one of my favorite scientists.
You can come on. You think that it'd be hard to put out some shit like that to discredit? I mean, come on.
Are you talking about Tesla? Tesla.
Yeah, I mean,
Tesla thought he was talking to people on he documented it. I've read his fucking autobiography. He's one of my favorite scientists.
You think that an autobiography can't be doctored?
Hold on, I believe I have his autobiography.
What do you know about
Absolutely fucking do. Look at this. Let me show. Oh, you guys can't see it. My Inventions, the autobiography of Nikola Tesla.
All right.
Yeah.
So I really don't want to cut you off, but I feel like we're running short on time here. I don't know what our time is like.
Well, so we're getting kind of close. We're a little bit. I was 30 minutes late starting the show tonight, so we've got a few more minutes.
If we got run off or not.
No. We're still good. Yeah. We're still. I'll give you guys. We got another 5 minutes, and then we're going to cover a couple of things that come up in the old chat, and see what we can do about.
Got it.
I'm looking at it here. It says 5G remains non-ionizing in nature. So, yeah, it's not weaponized 5G.
So what about
weaponized 5G? We would know.
What about smart meters, man? Like, you don't just because it's invisible doesn't mean it's not harming you.
Hold on, smart meters? You mean like your meters outside that they can now? Dude, what about them? They're
harmful to you.
No, they aren't.
Yeah, it's harmful to your because your biology is electric, and those are electronic frequencies.
Meaning what? Your body, your biology is electric.
Your frequency. You are a
Your
frequency.
Do you know what the frequency of the human body is?
I believe it is between. I believe it's something like 92 hertz or something like that.
5 hertz. Between 5 and 10. NASA says it's 5 because they've done extensive study on it. But
NASA can lick my balls because they're.
10 was the original.
Wait, I have a question about that. I have a question.
Go ahead.
What's your question?
I have a question. Are your balls flat?
Oh my god, dude! Look, every map is flat.
That's because we're taking. I mean, this is because we're making a 3D object or any object on a piece of
How many
paper.
straight lines does it take to make a circle?
That's a.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, it's
That's
an
what I
ignorant
thought.
question because straight. What do you mean by straight? Like
You know what that word means.
Not. No, hold on. Because if you say it doesn't deviate in one direction, then you could say, yeah, I could make one straight line would make a circle, but it wouldn't be oriented to the top of the circle. It would be oriented to the
Hey,
side.
David,
of the circle.
I got a serious question for you.
Okay.
So if I'm at the beach, right, and we're talking about ships sailing over the horizon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's saying that the Earth curves like away from me, straight in front of my face, right?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't I see curvature to the right and to the left?
Meaning what?
Meaning
why do you
it should
not
curve.
see
It should because a
like
ball
when you're
curves
looking
in all
hold on.
directions.
Are you saying right? So you're saying when you look straight, you should see like a slope
I'm saying that you.
from the.
I'm saying that you say that you do.
Let me make sure I'm getting the question right first, and then correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. So let's say I'm standing at the beach, and I'm looking directly out into the water. Okay.
Right.
And I look out and I see the horizon directly in front of me. Are you saying that it should curve left to right from that point, or is it curving like to my?
I'm saying
physical
it
left
should
as well
curve
and
in all directions, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but
so
I'm saying from the point I'm looking at, or from the point I'm standing.
what's the difference? Like 6 feet?
No. With the point I'm looking, I'm saying like
That's where your eyeballs are,
the
right?
horizon is 3 miles out. Is what I'm saying. Are you talking about at 3 miles? Should I see the curve at 3 miles left to right, or should I see the curve at my feet?
I'm saying like
left to right?
if you think of that you're looking out, if you think of it as from your point of reference, if you think of you looking straight out as that being north, then why don't you see curvature east to west?
I think JL Warren is trying to answer this question here. He says because you can always divide the distance between the lines by two to infinite.
What does that mean?
I mean, I'm gonna have to have JL Warren explain that a little better.
Well, okay. So here's the thing about a circle. Okay, circles.
Hang on. I want to see what this fool's saying. If you take a plane from DFW and go east with no deviation, will it land back in Dallas, DFW?
If you go east with no deviation, yes, it would take a great circle all the way around the Earth and land back in Dallas through Seattle. Let's say you were going in the like.
Oh, okay.
How many
All right,
lines?
so real quick, JL Warren says that you asked how many lines it takes to make a sphere, and his answer was. I'm sorry. Well, you said circle. Okay.
I said circle. Yeah.
You did say circle. That's true. But his answer to how many lines does it take to make a sphere would be divide the distance between the two lines to infinite. I believe that's what he was talking about. Let me know if I'm wrong, JL.
Yeah. So I think what was it?
I'm just saying, like side to side. Why don't you see any curvature?
You do. You don't because your eyes are so small and it's so large, but you do.
Well, aren't we talking about an apparent horizon?
Let me. Well, we're not even going to get into the refraction and apparent horizons. We'll just say this, okay? I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine a hula hoop around your head, okay? That's perfectly at eye level. And we're going to start off small. We're going to start off with one that looks kind of like it's covering your eyes, like Geordi in Star Trek.
Like,
you know,
like a little VR thing or something, right?
So and it's right over dead center of your eye. All right.
Uh-huh.
Now we're going to make this hula hoop. We're going to take it out 3 miles in each direction, so that it's 3 miles in front of you, it's 3 miles behind you, it's 3 miles to your right, and it's 3 miles to your left. Okay.
Hang on, I'm getting into lotus pose, and I feel like I can visualize this. Hang on.
Yeah. So now that this huge, 3 mile radius hula hoop is out there, we're gonna drop it down 6 feet. How much curve? Now you know what I'm saying. Like if you drop a hula hoop, you start to see it starts off looking straight because it's right in front of your eyes, and as you drop it down, the curve becomes more and more defined the further you take it down from your eyes. Do you agree with that?
Wait, are you talking about the further it gets away from my eyes, like the further it expands?
No.
No.
I'm saying like let's take one step back and let's.
So the hula hoop is not expanding.
Well, let's just. It does go back to that, but I want you to imagine what I'm. Okay, so let's say it's right up next to your face and it's just covering dead center of your eyes. Now, when you look at that hula hoop, it looks like a straight line, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. You can turn your head all the way around. That hula hoop is going to look like a straight line because it's perfectly eye level. So no matter which way you look, it's a line. It's a two-dimensional line to you. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would start to notice the circular features as you dropped it from your eye level, correct?
You're saying like if it drooped one side?
No, the whole thing. Let's just say the whole thing goes down lower to around the top of your nose. Now you're looking slightly down on that circle on the hula hoop that's right there in front of your face. Now you can see that it's not really a straight line, but it's a curved line, right?
You're talking about the physical tube of the hula hoop?
Yes. The physical tube of the hula hoop.
Horizontally, correct? Horizontally, correct?
Yeah, if it was right in front of your face, no.
Yeah, I could see that.
No, you wouldn't be able to. If it was directly over your eyes, no matter which way you look, the next point would always be at the exact same level as the other point. Now, when you drop it, the moment you drop it a little bit, you'll start to notice its circular features going around. And the further you drop it, the more circular it would look. Now, think of it like this: expand this. Now, put it back up at your eye levels and expand it 3 miles in each direction. And now drop it 6 feet. You're not going to see a huge curve with your eyes. Now, if you take a camera or you take some kind of, good optical device and you take the picture and you analyze the picture properly, you will see a curve. Just because you don't see it with your eyes doesn't mean shit. People wear glasses all the time because their eyesight's fucked up. You might
stop making fun of me.
A camera will see it.
I've never seen it.
I believe
and I've used a lot of different cameras.
Okay. Well, there's plenty of pictures out there that show the horizon. And when try doing this, take your picture. Go take a picture with a non-fisheye lens. Okay. Make sure your picture or your camera is perfectly 90 degrees to the pull of gravity, to whatever the downward force is, whatever you believe in. Obviously, you drop a baseball, it falls straight down unless wind's blowing, right? So that direction, the down direction. Make sure your camera is perpendicular to that down direction so that you're perfectly straight. Take the picture, go into Photoshop, squeeze the picture left and right without changing its up and down so it doesn't just size down, all together. Squeeze that picture in to where it's, instead of being long, like in landscape, it's in portrait. And what you'll notice is that there's a circle there, or at least portion of a circle. And that you can
100%. Where would be the best place for me to do that in our area, do you think? Because I'm open.
Ray Hubbard.
Okay.
It's big enough to go out there and take a picture across the lake. I think it's at least got a place that's 5 or 6 miles across.
Okay.
It would go beyond the horizon at least.
Okay.
All right, so here's the thing. This is what we got to do as a point of I don't know, just to give us something to do when all this shit is over and done with, right? All this COVID and bullshit. As soon as we can get through this current situation, we gotta do this, right?
Fuck that. I'm just gonna send all you guys hazmat suits. We'll just go do this shit right now.
We should get together and we should do this shit, right? Just do it.
We should go eat the rich. They all have addresses, right?
I mean, we can do that too. Aerosmith. It was what was it? That was off Get a Grip, I believe. Eat the Rich. Random shit.